Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review. And today from Jazwares, in the AEW line, we are featuring Unrivaled Collection, Series 8, number 67, Orange Cassidy. Alright, so I'm a huge Orange Cassidy fan. This predates him being in AEW. There's a wonderful documentary. It's a really short film on YouTube. It's called The Comedy of Wrestling, featuring Orange Cassidy. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a pretty short video, and they kind of get Orange Cassidy's views on comedy and wrestling. Just because I'm not sure if it's the case now, but prior to him being in AEW, Orange Cassidy was seen more as being like a comedy wrestler. And I think ever since he's joined AEW, even though he still incorporates a lot of the comedy elements that he did during the indies, I really think he elevated his game, and he's really showcasing his athleticism. You know, he's a great storyteller, very athletic, and the guy is awesome. I met him a few years back in Las Vegas at StarCast, and I remember this was before he debuted in AEW. I think he debuted that weekend during the Casino Battle Royale. But at StarCast, I met him in the banquet hall, and then I bought all three of his gimmick shirts. And I remember he was just so grateful that I bought all those shirts, that he took a photo with me. And ever since then, he just won me over. One of the most memorable matches I saw of his in person was at GCW. At the Summit Rec Center in Illinois, and he was taking on Joey Janela, and that was a great match, just because their match was the complete opposite of everything else going on that night at GCW. I think that night at in Summit, they were doing a Nick Gage death match invitational, and I think his match was against Janela was just kind of like more of a side attraction, and it was such a big deal too, because you had Janela versus Orange Cassidy, and I think later that night, after the match, Janela posted on Instagram. He pretty much posted a photo of the match, saying this was the face of independent wrestling that year. And I don't know, for me, it was such a cool, memorable thing. This is a great looking figure. As you can see, they recreate his gear. He has the denim jacket, the pants. He has his right elbow pad and different hand options. And on the back, this depicts Orange Cassidy as he appeared in Dynamite, but this is pretty much what he wears all the time. Series 8 from Unrivaled. This was a cool wave. It had Jericho, Mox, and then it had the original lineup of best friends, Trent, Chuck, and Statlander. So, really excited to check this figure out. If you've been watching AEW games recently, he's been he kind of won the AEW games championship, and he's I have to watch the second part, but he's been taking on Adam Cole in Halo, which I think is the coolest thing ever. And I'm doing this wrong right now. Apparently he's a big Orange is a big Halo fan. I think he excels at Halo CE. I think that's his game of choice. So all around, this guy is just awesome. Great performer, very entertaining, very funny. And it's like I said, if you haven't checked out that documentary on YouTube, it's called The Comedy of Wrestling with Orange Cassidy. Check it out. I think it's only maybe 5 or 10 minutes. It's really short. And before I forget, if you're on YouTube also, check out some of his matches from, I think, Beyond Wrestling. He has this wild match with him and the Swamp Monster versus Super Cop and Dick Justice. And with those names alone, the match is going to be comedic gold. If you're unfamiliar with Swamp Monster, check it out. It's one of the funniest things ever. Alright, so we have Orange here. Even though the coat looks cool, I'm not too fond of cloth materials on action figures, because I kind of feel like it brings it that much closer to being a doll. And you want to be careful not to lose his trademark sunglasses, because they don't plug onto his head. They kind of just rest on his ears, and you can easily lose these. So we're gonna take these off for now. And it's a great looking figure. I'm amazed that they were able to incorporate the pockets in his pants so he could do the whole gimmick where he puts his hands in his pockets. And we'll talk about that in a second, but for now, let's just examine the figure up close. The likeness, I want to say it's all right. I'm not too fond of the color change in the flesh tones, because there were some complaints early on that people felt that the first wave, the flesh tones were too light. And then I think when they updated them, I kind of feel that some of the flesh tones were a little bit too dark and grayed out. Also, I kind of feel like, as nice as his facial expression is, they could have, like, I don't know, found a way to breathe more life into him. Now, I know he's not the most enthusiastic looking character on screen, but they could have added some more, I don't know, maybe more pink or red to his cheeks just to, like, kind of add more life to him. But it's a great sculpt nonetheless. The denim jacket, it looks cool, but like I said, I'm not too fond of, like, cloth goods on the action figures because it brings it that much closer to being a doll. He has the old school Best Friends shirt from some years ago. And then this comes off easily. It's Velcroed on, so you can easily remove it. It'd be nice if we got an updated figure that came with the championship and I think it's the Eastman backpack, which is funny. Eastman backpacks were such a big thing, like in the 90s, and I actually have the same identical backpack that he uses to the ring. So I think that's kind of a nice coincidence. This figure, the likeness is pretty spot on. This has his build here, his physique is pretty much identical to what you see in real life. He even has the lazy thumbs up, which is his trademark. He has the one flat hand, so he could put it in his pocket, which I think is the coolest thing in the world. That's so awesome. And this material, it's nice. It's like a soft, rubbery plastic. I've said this before in other videos. My fear with this kind of material is that, over time, I kind of think that, these rubbery plastics might suffer from dry rot and eventual crack. But, we'll see. This figure is a couple of years old already. We'll see how it fares like in 10 years. But it's great. It's a soft material. It does restrict the movement a little bit. Like, as you can see, you can't really kick the legs that high up, or kick them out to the side. But it's a cool effect. And there still is some articulation. There's a cut above the knee for the swivel. My head's a little bit too loose for my tastes. It feels like it's a little bit too wobbly, but I can live with that. Arms rotate, they go out. The ratchets in his shoulders, they're not as tight as some of the newer figures. Keep in mind, this figure's a little bit older. Swivel at the bicep, double jointed elbows, articulated wrists. He has his sneakers. Overall, great figure. The likeness is spot on. I think this is like actually one of my favorite figures. In the entire series, and I mean, of course, because I'm biased towards orange, but I don't know, this is awesome. It's so cool. I'm so digging this figure so much, and I kind of feel like he's a must purchase. For me, when I think of AEW, I always kind of think there's, for me, three faces that really make the promotion. I think Darby, Orange, and Britt are kind of like the faces of AEW. For me, AEW should really be about the younger next generation of talent, and I kind of think those are the three superstars who really epitomize that. They really break the mold. Darby and Orange especially. So wonderful figure. Really stoked to add this to my collection, and I think is a must purchase. All right, with that being said, let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. All right, later.